Hello, welcome to the VOD review of G2 versus Misfits, their first game of Week 4. G2 come into this one with a 5-1 record, chasing to Fnatic, who are in first with a 6-0 record prior to this weekend. Misfits are 2-4, trying to bounce back, trying to mount a race to playoffs. This Misfits team is a team that is on paper really good with the players they have. They have Soaz, one of the all-time top laners. Still, last season still was a great season for Soaz. They have Maxlor, who was one of the best junglers in Europe. He has now fallen off a cliff. They had Febvin. Leader is playing this game. Febvin was the one they brought in for the roster in January. Another powerhouse in the mid lane. Then they had Ansama, who was considered one of the best ADCs in Europe, and the import Gorilla. This team was expected to be a super team. It didn't turn out to be that way in spring. Let's see what happens at this split. Looking at the comps, going from top to support. Nico versus Vladimir. We have the late game hyperscaler that is Vladimir against a champion like Nico that is going AP because of G2's comp. They don't have a lot of magic damage despite the Silas. The Nico is going to be a bit of an annoyance until Vlad gets a few points on Q and a cooldown reduction. Till then, sustaining is not going to be the easiest thing in the world for him, and the Nico is going to be a bit annoying. Silas versus Sejuani. The Sejuani has a good amount of damage if she can proc or E. The Silas can duel early game and does a lot of sustain due to his Kingslayer or his W. Renekton versus Aurelia. Renekton is seen as a counter to Aurelia because he has an easy way to dodge her stun, and if so, the Aurelia loses a lot of trading advantages. Vayne Yuumi versus Sivir Nautilus. We're looking at a kill lane from Sivir Nautilus. Nautilus gets a hook, the person can't move, the Sivir has a lot of time to attack. Even though she's not the strongest champion in the early game, she still deals a lot of damage, and Nautilus is one of the highest damages early game. As for the Vayne Yuumi, this is a lane that wants to survive, get to 2-3 items, and then Vayne gets online again, an hyper carry, this time on G2's side. If the Vayne gets going, she can win games very easily. Win conditions for both these teams. Split push for G2 with the Renekton and the Nico, and maybe the Vayne early on. For Misfits, they want to team fight a lot with the Vladimir, the Sejuani, and the Sivir. G2 can team fight as well with the Renekton as the front line, with the Renekton and maybe the Silas as the frontliners, and the Nico and Vayne pumping out damage from the backline, although the Nico would want to go in because of her Pop Blossom. Well, that's it. Let's jump into the game. Here it is. Right before minions spawn, I haven't lost anything. Exactly, no flash has been blown. G2 are preparing for an invade, topside maybe. Yep, delayed invade. Leader doesn't spot it. And he's forced to start with the stun. Okay, we have oh wait, the Nico ended up going press the attack. And Jankos might be in trouble. Okay, gets out. Soaz and Leader swapped lanes, so the Vladimir is in the mid lane, the Aurelia is in top lane. I'm trying to figure out why would this be beneficial. Maybe because the Aurelia gets away from the Renekton. But against the AD Nico, she can just walk up and deal damage to her. Oh, and that's first blood. Very well done by Caps, stacking up the Fury, flashing in for the stun. Making Soaz think that he was in a good position when he actually wasn't. Wonder can be this far up. There's going to be a tower dive to the Aurelia. Yep, there it is. And Caps gets another kill. Soaz is coming up. I was saying that Wonder could be pushed that far up because he had vision if the jungler would gank him, and he knew that Maxlor started topside, so there should be no reason for him to be topside, or at least Jankos knew that and communicated. Leader went back to the mid lane, so we're gonna have the matchups that were initially thought. So here is the play. Teleport completed. Wonder draws tower aggro with this auto attack, takes a tower shot. Caps then just destroys the Aurelia, takes a single tower shot and gets out. So the Vladimir is in the top lane, so we have to compare farm between the Nico and the Vladimir. They're relatively even. And the observer decided to take out the scoreboards. Okay, here it is. Big CS advantage for Caps, plus the 2 kills, where Nico is even with the Vladimir. Okay. A lot of sustain by the Yuumi. And Caps kills Leader again. Leader is supposed to be on his comfort champion, on his biggest champion, Aurelia, the champion with which he won Misfits Premier EU Masters 4. And Caps just ran him down. Showing that there's a big gap in terms of skill between the two players, although Leader is very talented. We can already see that G2 is setting up a vision line in top lane. That's probably what they're playing at, Nico and Renekton, and leaving the Yuumi and Vayne to survive, knowing that early game is not where they shine. Caps just walks in. The Sejuani can't fight him. Sejuani's level 4, even with the Vladimir's help. Well, the Vladimir's level 6. Ooh. Mickey X getting out of perks to get hooked himself so that perks can keep up the chase, and then they end up killing Gorilla with the help of Jankos. Oh. Caps just walked into Soaz and said, Come at me, bro. So I said, no, I just want that creep wave. Caps goes for a trade under tower. That is fun. Burke solo killed Ansama. I just saw leader die again to Yankos and Wonder. This game is snowballing out of control in favor of G2. They have very fed Renekton, who is thrashing both solo laners, no matter who he's up against. They have a Nico that is building up. Since this is the on-hit Nico, the later the game goes on, the better. And it's more a team fight-oriented champion. And then we have a Vayne with 2 kills early on. So here's how they killed the Aurelia. Oh. Leader thought he could get the kill. Ooh. The max range Pop Blossom. We're looking at the golds. We see big gold leads everywhere, especially in the mid lane that is sort of a top lane. The Renekton versus Aurelia, a 2k gold lead. That is a big lead. Misfits are trying to do something bot lane. It would be a 4 versus 3, but they back off. Looking for what? We look for the vision. There isn't much to be said. Leader is caught out. Tried to dance, tried to deal as much damage before he went down, but you saw there, that wasn't much. So you got Tiamat to try and clear waves. That's basically his duty right now. Clear waves, try to get back in the game through farm. Where we look at a Vladimir who is trying to get a Zhonya's. Or maybe that Seeker's arm guard is just for a bit of extra armor against both the Renekton and the Nico. We have swap lanes, at least Misfits did, where they sent Soaz bot and on Sam and Gorilla top. Maybe they want to try to contest Rift Herald. Caps is gonna face check Max. Ooh. That catch didn't work. Yankos and Mickey X are trying to get Rift Herald. They're going to get it. We have the BM replay. Flash. Glacial. Is it Glacial Prison that it's called? Not entirely sure now. Vayne is just bot lane free farming against the Vlad. They both know they can't kill each other, so they're just last hitting. Oh. Perks? Teleport from Wonder with Mickey. A leader responded. Same as on Sama, Caps killed. So as in the top of the fight. And then teleports into top lane to get the tower. Okay. Soa's got a pick on Perks. Then Perks tried to fight back and don't really understand the idea behind that condemn flash forward, but it worked, so I'm not going to how do you say it? I'm not going to yeah, I'm not going to that. Ooh, the gold earned by each player is very massive, and we have 4 G2 players that have more gold. That's a funny animation. We have 4 G2 players in the top 5 of gold earners. Here it is, the play. The condemn backwards, the stopwatch. Maybe he was trying to stopwatch the Hemo play. A bit too late. Wonder teleports into the middle of the fight, then gets caught out by 3. Oh, great E. And then Caps just catches Soaz and teleports top to get the tower. Spear of Shojin Tiamat on Renekton. He's going to be sort of an helicopter now. That's the Silas, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yanka still spotted the roam from Maxler and Gorilla, so Wonder just got away from that gank. Now it's Caps' turn. He's sitting on a ward. Oh, he doesn't know they're there. Will he escape? Probably. He's a Renekton under tower. He decided to go for the stun instead of the empowered stun instead of the empowered healing from Q. That was a big shutdown. But it went for the Nautilus. That's the bad part of it. Yeah, the Vladimir is going for the X-Tech Proto Belt, just as the Seeker's Arm Guard for some... Okay, he was going for the Zonius. Should have waited a little longer. Pick on the Nautilus, didn't work. Yankas could be 3-man here. Maxler doesn't have ult, so it wasn't... Both Maxler and Gorilla didn't have ults, so it wasn't a very easy pick. No outer towers left for Misfits. Cloud Drake for G2. Scap's going for... Okay, he was just trying to get some damage. Meanwhile, Leader gets a tower. He had some protection from Maxlor for a while. Now he doesn't have it, but he doesn't need it. Everyone's bot side. Everyone from G2 is bot side. So Misfits trade tier 2 tower, tier 2 in the bot lane for a tier 1 in the top lane. Hemoplague used to try and deter G2 from keeping the push, and they back off to reset. 18 minutes. There isn't Baron on the card yet, so they probably just want to spend gold. Vayne is working towards the Guinsoo's. Caps and Wonder want to catch Soaz. There's the Sanguine Pool. There's the Zhonya's. Dodges the Pop Blossom. Tries to flash out. Oh, it works. They both had flashes. They didn't have vision, so they decided not to chase. Now they really will reset. Black Cleaver then for Renekton. Nico is also working towards the Rage Blade. Now what G2 should do is prep for Baron, get any vision away, get as much vision as possible in the top side jungle of Misfits. Yanko's just through that Sejuani ult. Get as much, so they should get as much vision as possible in the top side jungle. Soaz is trying to trade. It's not going to work. Gets stunned. Doesn't have flash. There it goes. As I was saying, G2 should get as much vision as possible. That last minute's on, yes. They have no way to deny that vision from Misfits. Maxlor is still alive. That's a 50-50. The moment he goes into that tribush, they can collapse on him. G2 can collapse on him. There it goes. Maxlor was in stasis, and he still managed to steal the Baron. That should delay the game. Especially when there's a Vladimir with Baron buff. You can split push for Vayze while he tries to scale up. Maxlor knows they have vision there because of the Oracle. Now Maxlor goes in, uses the stopwatch, and Jankos doesn't smite. Jankos did not smite the Baron there. G2 still have a 7k gold lead. They are still in the driver's seat. But that was a bit of a blow, and the flash from the Nautilus to try and get the hook didn't connect. Wunder is free pushing in bot side because there's no one to answer him. Now there will be Soaz. Caps just doesn't die. Great timing by Wonder. Who has the Baron buff on Misfits? Gorilla died, Soaz died. Oh, no, Soaz didn't die. Or did he? That began with a catch onto Max Lore. Then the ultimate. Then Yankos still the ultimate from Sejuani. Yeah, Soaz died here. So who still has the Baron buff? It isn't Leader. No one had it. We went back a little. That Nautilus ultimate threw Hansama straight into G2's team. And then Wonder catches Soaz rotating. Soaz dies. No more Baron buff for Misfits. It's easy for G2 to push now. Here it is. Misfits can't defend without a turret. G2 just push forward, and here is why they can't defend without a tower. So as is caught, and he dies before he can use any of his invulnerabilities. This is how the game ends. 19-2 on the scoreboard for G2. Hansama is the only man left. He can't defend against 5 from G2. He's just trying not to die. But G2 are known for fountain diving. They're not going to do it this time. It's over. That Caps game, early game, was enormous for G2. The way that Misfits tried to respond was rotate Vladimir against the way they tried to respond to that Renekton pick to countered the Aurelia was sending the Vladimir to the mid lane against the Renekton. It didn't work. It was even worse. Soaz got killed level 2. From then on, Caps just got steamrolling. He then got to face against Leader, got another kill on Leader, snowballed out of control. Every lane from G2 just won. The miss smite from Yankos was just was probably the worst of their game. Doing a Baron without clearing vision and not making the call to focus the Baron and get it down while the Sejuani is in stasis. Didn't cost him the game. It was sort of a minor slip up. And in the end, it was a big G2 stomp